Hey, what's up guys? Let's talk about Annihilation. So this is a sci-fi fantasy horror film directed by Alex Garland based off the novel of the same name by James Vandermeer. It stars Natalie Portman, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Gina Rodriguez, Tessa Thompson, and Tuva Novotny, as well as Oscar Isaac, and is about this group of military scientists that go to something that is called the Shimmer, which has all these weird landscapes and creatures that are sort of mutating and changing and causing quite a bit of a problem. The film just came out this week, but one thing I found kind of interesting is Netflix is actually planning to release it on their platform on March 12th in international markets. So it's going to be in theaters for like 17 days in total before it actually also goes to streaming. Part of me thinks that's pretty cool, but I'm also a little concerned because it kind of shows that the studio itself was concerned that this wouldn't be a hit, and you know, there's various reasons possibly why. It seems like one of the studio executives himself was a bit concerned, saying that the film would be too complicated or too intellectual for many audiences, and actually wanted the director to change the ending. Luckily that didn't happen, and this film was left exactly as the director and the people working behind it envisioned it. This is a film that many people could struggle with if they're not into sci-fi, that really delves into deep themes and philosophical questions and leaves things up to the imagination as well as ambiguity. So there's a lot of things here where some people are really going to love that, but then other people are not going to find that as appealing. However, I'm on the side of things where I actually would really like to see sci-fi where I'm really challenged and I have to think about things. I don't really like getting all the answers here and there. There are times where I was watching this and I actually got more than I wanted to know, but there is a lot here that I'm like, whoa, okay, I have to make that up in my head because I'm probably never going to find out the real answer. I really like how they developed the story here in the beginning and found all the characters to be really interesting and well fleshed out. I really enjoyed how they all had varying personalities. You got little moments here and there where you really got to know each individual one at times. There's also a little bit of comic relief in a movie that for the most part doesn't have a lot of humor, and I really like how actress Gina Rodriguez really pulled it off. She does a great job as not coming off like she's really trying to make you laugh, but just happens to be saying things that in general are pretty funny just based on how she delivers it really well. One thing you'll definitely hear about this film is just how gorgeous and visually magnificent it is to see all these things inside the Shimmer. There's some things here that are so vivid and different. It's like you're staring at something that you're just trying to figure out in your mind, like, whoa, what is that? That is just so interesting, and you kind of get mesmerized by that, and I really enjoyed that aspect of the film. One of the best ways I can describe it is it's creepy but beautiful. I don't know if that quite makes sense. You might have to just see the film to know exactly what I mean. Another thing that worked really well is the music. It's very engrossing and intense at times and really gets you sucked in, and at times it's almost a little overbearing, but never quite to the point where you're like, oh man, we need to tone this down. Eventually it does that itself, and I appreciated that it didn't get quite jarring. I also appreciate that this is a bit of a slow burn. There are moments here where you get to see elements of gore as well as horror, and it's done in a way where it's pretty simplistic, not overly going to hit you over the head with it. I appreciate that they didn't really go too deep into that level of the film. But what really made this film for me was the last act and overall how it ended. I really appreciated what we saw. I just couldn't take my eyes off the screen. It was so jaw-dropping and interesting that I was very intrigued and just wanted more and more. It's one of those films that will leave you wanting to just talk about it and discuss it with other people immediately after to see what they thought. I went alone, and there happened to be another guy next to me who also went alone, and we just started talking about it for at least 5 to 10 minutes. As the credits were rolling, we stayed for the entire thing. It was a great time. Overall, I highly recommend checking out Annihilation in theaters. It's got something for everyone. It's got deep themes, and I feel like this is a film that will only get better the more you watch it. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it again. Annihilation eradicates expectations with mind-blowing imagery and a discussion-worthy outcome, inviting multiple interpretations of its meaning. And that's why this film is a Dyligent pick. So what did you guys think of Annihilation? Are you a fan of the director's previous work on films like Ex Machina? What is your favorite recent sci-fi movie that you have to recommend? Let me know in the comments. One other thing, for those of you who have read the book and know that it's actually a trilogy, what are your thoughts on this adaptation, and are you hoping that they'll do more? It's interesting because this director only read the first book, so I'm really curious to see how many of you will compare the two. My name is Dylan, and if you love entertainment, subscribe to my channel while this video ends, and send me a thumbs up before you go. Thanks for watching, and stay diligent.